Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Made by Power with the Rhythm and Flow podcast here with my co-host DJ Inferno.
Yes, sir, man. We are back for another episode, and for this one, we have a very special guest, man. It's a very special day. We don't normally record on Mondays, but we have him in the building, so we had to make it happen, man. We got our guy HS Dro.
Thank you guys
Yes,
for having
sir,
me. I
man.
appreciate the platform for sure.
Oh yeah, bro. Appreciate you for reaching out and
Always,
making
yeah.
this happen, bro. I mean, we've definitely heard about you. A couple previous podcasts. I guess you could call them interviewees. They've talked about you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's really dope to kind of get you here, sit you down, and kind of hear about what you got going on in your story.
Thank you, bro.
But kind of how we do this, bro, is like first and foremost, introduce yourself. Like there's
Sure.
probably people on our platform that may have never heard of you, or maybe you just know a little bit about you. Tell us like where you're from and talk about your journey, bro. Like when did you start making music? Go as far back and really as detailed as you want.
For sure. So my name's HS Dro. That's what I go by as an artist. I'm from out here, born and raised. Well, not born actually. I was born in San Diego, but I moved out here when I was like 3. Did all my school up here. So really from Oregon, from Portland area, my whole life. So I can't really claim California at all. I'm really from here. This is my home. Growing up, I didn't really have no aspirations to be an artist at all, to be honest. Like I didn't start rapping like even for fun until like my senior year of high school, and then like taking it serious like a year after that. My whole life I was just a soccer player. I thought that was what I was gonna do, to be honest. I did that, and then I was like cutting hair, so people knew me as a barber and a soccer player. That was my whole life until like later in senior year of high school. So got into it because one of my homies was doing music back in that time. Like everything was on SoundCloud, so
Right.
he would record, and like he was getting love on SoundCloud. Like everything he dropped would get like 8K, 10K. He had something like 10 or 20, even a 40K song on SoundCloud when we were in high school. So I'm thinking like, oh, he's going,
Right.
And then so like me just like being close with him, I would fuck around with music with him, and I recorded a couple of times, but never had no intentions of like putting it out or nothing like that. And then he ended up going down and getting some time, so he told me like, you have to like drop the stuff we have, like you just have to drop it, And I didn't really want to, but then I did, and it got love like on SoundCloud. I think my shit went up to like 14K in a couple months, and I was like, oh, people like this, And then I kind of like inadvertently, like people just kept asking me to make songs, and I would drop them on SoundCloud, and I'm like, okay, like some thousands of people are liking this on SoundCloud, which is cool. And it kind of like got addicted to the process of making music and putting stuff out that people enjoyed since then.
That's what's up. I
Mhm.
mean, that was an era to be in music, man. I mean, the SoundCloud shit was crazy.
Yeah, no, for sure. The SoundCloud was cool because it was like social media, so like you can catch the
Right.
algorithm the right way,
Yeah.
and boom, your stuff has 5,000. You might only know like 100 of them,
Yeah.
That shit was cool for sure.
Like 2016, 17, somewhere around
It
there.
was like 17, late
Yeah.
17.
That's fire.
hmm
What was like that first song you dropped? Like how was that like was that a feature or was that like your own song?
No, it was my own song. I actually sang the chorus, and it was just a chorus at first, and then it was like I remember it was in my phone as like a voice note. Like I never even recorded it for real,
Yeah.
and it was just a chorus. And then like when I found out when he was like, you have to drop it, I was like, all right, I'll do it. I think I recorded it on GarageBand, like in my closet with like a sock on the mic.
Hey,
And
okay.
I remember I had it in my computer for so long, and it wasn't mixed because it's my first song. I didn't know what any of that was. It just sounded rough as hell. And then I saw like a YouTube video came up, and it was like how to engineer your voice on GarageBand to sound like Tory Lanez or something like that. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, I did it to my shit, and it sounded way better. And I was like, all right. I dropped it, and yeah, that was it. It was just a random little song. It was trash. I remember how it goes still.
Is it still on SoundCloud to this day?
Hell no.
You took it down. He took that shit down.
I took
Real
everything off SoundCloud, bro. And Apple. Like I was dropping music for like 2 years before I really like clicked like, oh, I'm gonna take this serious and get all my songs mixed for real and all that. And everything I did before that, I deleted, and kind of regret it, but also like no, because when you look up HS Dro now, you only see stuff that like I'm like, okay, that's presentable,
Right, like the
Mhm.
real stuff, like the real deal.
Exactly.
What you want to show people. now.
Exactly what I want it to be a representation of myself,
Right, yeah. You didn't have any like music aspirations early on, like
Hell no, bro.
no
not
music background whatsoever.
Not at all, bro. None at all. I was always really into music. Like
Yeah.
I was always a big consumer since a little kid. Like I loved rap. I had a big ass CD collection. I used to go to Best Buy to like the $5 bins and get like
Yeah.
all the old CDs, and that was how I was a real hip hop head, bro. Like I learned listen to Nas, Wu-Tang Clan, like all that. But to do it myself, no, it never even occurred to me until like late high school.
What like kind of like I guess drew you? Like were you just kicking it with the homies freestyling type of deal or?
Honestly, like my boy would be like, we'd be in the car, we'd be at school, like in the elevator, like, and he'd be rapping to me, and I'd be like, nah, you should say it like this, and then he'd be like, write it how you think it should be, and then I would write like 4 bars, and he would use it, and he would like it, or it was really like going back and forth with my one homie that was like giving me feedback that I was like, okay, maybe I have the talent to put together like a hook, and then it kind of went from there. I used to try to make beats a little bit too, like way back in the day. But that shit takes a lot of patience, bro, and I didn't have that.
It does, man.
Yeah,
it's complicated.
tedious. Yeah.
I tried that shit, bought some machines, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, no, it's tedious, bro. I'm glad I just focus on the creative part now.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so basically you just got into it, like it sounds like,
Honestly, looking back, I was supposed to do that. Like, it was like my whole life I was like prepping myself to do it, just consuming so much music and so much rap, but yeah, it wasn't even like, it's crazy. It didn't occur to me until way later.
Was your early stuff like more like, like serious rap? I mean, you mentioned like Nas, Wu-Tang. So was it like more like,
honestly,
like rap or?
No, because like when I was listening to like Nas and Wu-Tang and stuff, I was a kid. Like I was like late elementary school, middle school, early times. So I was like, I was past that. By the time I was at the end of high school, I was listening to like, I don't even know, like I'm trying to think who was bubbling at that time. Like S.O.B. was big at that time. It was melodic. My first songs were melodic. Like I was singing with some auto-tune on, trying to make like a catchy little hook.
Right. I mean, Uzi and Cardi were on at that time.
Yeah.
So.
I'm trying to think who was like my biggest inspiration at that time. I don't know. I always like West Coast stuff. Like I would listen to Mozzie. I would listen to S.O.B.R.B. I would listen to who was big from this side of things. So like when there was a song that had like a hard melodic hook, I remember like I would gravitate towards those songs, so I would try to recreate that.
Oh, bet. So it was like melodic then?
Yeah, at first it was mostly melodic. I didn't really start like trying to bar up and rap until like a little bit later into like trying to do this shit.
Is that like, for those who don't know, is that like how your music is today? Is it more just like rappers, like a mixture of both?
Yeah, no, honestly, I still sing a little bit here and there. The last couple of years since I moved to LA though, it's been all like rapping. For me, like when I'm doing my melodic shit, I want to record myself. I like to be alone in the room and whatnot. And until recently, when I was out there, I was in the studio with a bunch of people and stuff. So I'd rather just like rap. Also, it seems like to me at this point, people gravitate more towards my rap heavy, like my bar stuff. So I just kind of try to be the people what they want.
You write a lot, or do you freestyle?
Both. It depends on the beat. I think more often than not, I punch in at this point, just because I don't really have a lot of time in my life to be like listening to a beat over and over and writing. But I still like to write though. I think writing is good for the craft.
Oh, no doubt, for sure.
You feel me?
Yeah, you like solidify that shit, type shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That punching's popular though. A lot of people do.
It is. And if I'm punching in, I like to take my time with it. Like I'm not gonna try to like rush the 16. Like if I punch it, I'll do like 8 bars and like let it sit for a bit, go make some dinner, listen to it in my headphones, see if I liked it, come back and tweak the parts I didn't like and build on it. If I'm punching in, it takes me some time. I have a home studio now, so I have the luxury to do that. But if I'm going to the studio and I know I'm on my own time with my own money that I'm paying for, like I have to write and be prepared to be productive.
How's that like though? Like having the home studio versus going into the studio. Like what's your preparation like?
It's different. Like home studio is like 3 a.m. Fuck, I just thought of something. I'm about to get up and roll over and record it.
Right, yeah.
But I don't know, it depends, man. For real, like I've been doing this for a while now, like pretty consistently, so I can kind of like figure it out both ways. But sometimes like it helps to be in the studio just because the energy, especially if you have people with you and whatnot, makes some more turn shit. And then like with the more personal stuff, like it's good for me at least. I like to be alone, in the room, lights off, just with my thoughts and like talking to the mic.
Energies are different.
Super different, yeah.
And people are comfortable in different ways.
Exactly. It's hard to be in the studio with a bunch of people and the vibe is turned, everybody's drinking, smoking, and you're trying to talk about your life and like your pain. You know what I'm saying?
Dropping some serious bars.
Exactly, bro. It's a different.
Did you start off going into the studio, or did you just try to build your own studio first?
Kind of both, man. Like I started off just like fucking with GarageBand.
Yeah.
And then I just like wasn't liking how it was sounding because I didn't really. I'm on GarageBand, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I was like, okay, then. Yeah. Every once in a while, if I find one I like, I'm gonna go to the studio and pay for it to sound good.
Facts.
But I knew like early on that I wanted a home studio because I'm real hands on. Like I engineer all my shit too. Like I mix and master the vast majority of my shit. But also like I like saving money. You know what I'm saying? Like the studio time adds up.
It does. Yeah. How do you like pick and choose that? Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you know, in a financial situation, you know, like, how do you pick and choose? Like, okay, I can record any song I want in my studio, but like, what songs do you want to record in the studio?
It really just depends, like, circumstance. If I'm in the studio, if I'm gonna be in the studio already because somebody else has a session or something like that, or say I'm not home, like right now, I'm gonna go to the studio tomorrow night. You know, I'm not around my stuff. You know, but for the most part, at this point in life, most of my stuff is recorded at the crib. You know, if I'm mixing it and I'm not liking how the mix sounds, I'll send the stems out to get it mixed. You know, by somebody else. But I prefer to record myself at this point.
Fair. That's fair.
I feel like most of the artists that we've kind of interviewed, a lot of them have a home studio that they prefer to record in. There's like a few that have said like, oh, I prefer a studio over a home studio.
Right.
There's been a couple that are like, I don't know how to do any of that, so I'm just going to go to the studio and pay someone because I don't want to like learn or pay for it or whatever. But a question I got for you, bro, is did you, before you like moved to LA, did you kind of work in studios out here in Portland?
Like, did I record at studios?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I would go to Momentum Studios.
Okay.
And I'd fuck with Zeb and Zone over there. I've recorded at 11 studios in Vancouver.
Okay.
Over there, and then out of like going to the studio out here, those are the only 2 studios I was going to when I was out here. But I had a home studio even when I was out here, so
okay, that makes sense.
I was mostly recording myself for some years now.
Yeah, and so the question I was gonna get at is there like differences, like, you know, maybe culturally that you've noticed, like in Portland or just like Oregon, Washington studios versus like Cali, like LA studios? Like, is there? It's
changing. They're starting to be like where we're at right now, like obviously a real professional, you know, environment and whatnot. I would say like when I was starting to go to the studio and whatnot, it was, I mean, the studio would be professional and stuff like that, but like the people recording there, it's a lot of like people fucking around, you know, people trying to like, rapping's a hobby to them. Whereas like you go to the studio in LA and like that's people's job, you know, like not from the engineers to the artists, like everybody's there like working like with a purpose, you know. So that was like the main thing I noticed. Like as soon as I got there, I was like immediately like woken up to how serious I had to take it to, you know, be taken serious, you know.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. That's kind of what I figured, but I wanted to get someone's like perspective that's actually kind of like been in both realms, because just from like my outside perspective, I'm not an artist. I mean, I go to studios like, you know, here to record a podcast and just be around like, you know, the other producers and artists I'm working with, but I don't really record or nothing. So I just wanted to kind of get your input and just kind of hear what the differences were like, because I'm sure there's a couple. I want to take it a little bit of a step back. So you talked about, you know, playing sports and you thought, you know, you were going to be a soccer player. Yeah. And honestly, bro, I'm going to say like 98% of every person that sat in that chair has played sports and thought sports was going to be their thing. Tell me I'm wrong.
Nah, bro.
There's been a lot, bro. Like,
it has been.
I mean, I'm one too. I thought I was going to play sports. I mean, you probably at one point probably did too. I mean, everyone has been around sports or some nature, even when you were little, you know?
Yeah, I thought I was going to be LeBron.
But what was that? And everyone that, you know, has had that kind of similar journey, I always ask them, like, what was that transition like? Like, when did you realize, like, okay, sports is not for me, music is for me? And what was that transition in your life like?
For me, it wasn't like sports isn't for me, music is for me. Because music kind of like, I had already phased out sports, at least in my mind, is like what I was going to do with my life before music came.
Got you.
Mind you, I played soccer all through high school. I played for a year in college and I got hurt. But even like before that, I had decided I wasn't going to be no soccer player. My grades wasn't really great, so I knew I needed something to get me there because I was trying to go to college. So that was what that was the path I took. But
yeah,
I think for me, it was like I'm soccer until I used to be a barber. I still am a barber. I cut hair. And when I started cutting hair like early high school and really like making money off of it, I started to look at practice as like, fuck, like I was at practice for 2 hours. I could have
made this amount
of money, you know? And then like, oh, we have games on Fridays. Like, fuck, I want to go out on, you know, like that type of thing. Like my social life and making money started to like, in my head, take priority over sports. I was never, maybe as a kid, but the older I got, I wasn't really like super passionate about soccer. I was solid. I was good, so I kept playing, and then like was kind of like part of my identity at that point. So like I felt like I had to, you know. And I was on a club team that had been together since we were like 8 years old. So it was like also like the social aspect. It's like my family. This is my group, you know. So it was part of my life for a while. But when it came to like what I really want to do with my life, and I started to think like that, it really wasn't. in the cards for me for real.
Got you. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like for me personally too, that was a similar journey. It was like you kind of realize that like sports isn't what you're gonna do, and then it's like a transitional period where it's like, okay, what do I like, or what am I taking interest in, and then you kind of find the avenue. It's not like a straight from sports to like doing the next move. It's like you and I mean at that time too, I mean high school to college, like we're all kind of figuring out like who we are, what we want to do with our lives. Anyways, it's a very like transitional period. So it kind of makes sense that you had that, similar experience. And as far as like, going from like being little, wanting to be a soccer player, and now it's like I want to be a rapper or an artist and really like take this thing serious and, go to the moon with it.
100%. It takes a lot of extra work to be good at sports. Like you got to go to practice or stay at practice after practice. You got to, it's like when nobody's watching, what are you doing to get better, Yeah. I didn't have the drive for that when it came to soccer. Like how in music, like I would do this shit, if I wasn't really trying to do this shit, I would still be fucking with it. I love doing this shit, I spent thousands on this shit to not see no money back,
Yep.
I would have never put that into soccer,
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure you can probably agree with this too, but there's probably been a lot of like lessons and values that you learned from, playing sports that you take into your life, and even like music, like discipline, being trustworthy, doing good business with other artists and things like that. So I mean, like, at least that's how I feel, like sports really helped me a lot with what we're doing now.
For sure.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
No, for sure. I mean, sports, you can take whatever you learn in a sport and just apply it to just basically anything in life.
No, for sure.
You want to become an artist, what are the players are going to be there to help you, your team, your support, your coach, who's going to, like, a mentor, like type shit, so. Passions change all the time. For people, sure. like you said, there's a lot of athletes that turn to musicians and so forth. Maybe a lot of musicians are athletes, vice versa. So, with that being said, you started making music, you got into it, you transitioned over, but, you obviously, you have a lot of confidence in yourself and the way you carry yourself, and you've made music up to the point where you ditched Portland. This is a place where you called home for, I don't know, like 10 plus years, and then you decided, like, I'm going to dip to LA. So, well, how'd that come about?
Honestly, man, like for me, I just kind of like came to this realization where I was like, what do I really want to do? I was wrapping up school. I went to U of L, and I finished in 2022. So I was like, in my senior year of college, and I was like, I've been cutting for this long, it's paying my bills, but do I really want to be a barber forever? I was like, not really, but I was studying advertising. I was like, I don't really want to get an office job or work in advertising either. So I was like, what do I really want to do with my life? What do I enjoy? And I was like, well, I enjoy making music. That's like I get the most gratification in my life out of doing this shit. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do this shit. I got to go all the way on it and do it the right way, and really try to give myself a shot. So I was like, fuck it. I moved to LA. That's the place to go. And then try to put it together. And now I'm out there trying to make it happen. And it's cool to see, like, when you go from a place like out here where, like, I feel like in the music scene, like, there's not too much going on. I've been doing it for a while to where, like, I feel like as far as, like, rappers from Portland, I'm one of, like, in the conversation for, like, one of the 10, Whereas out there, I'm nobody at all, Nobody's, from being a big fish in a small pond to being a small fish, a nothing fish in a huge pond. It's a huge eye-opener, but, it's also really inspiring to see, like, people around you making it and doing, feeding their families and whatnot off music.
Shit, you're right in the heart of it.
No, for sure.
You literally see him maybe potentially like the next mainstream artist. Like, you might be in the same room with him.
100%.
Type shit.
Yeah.
And social media helps a lot, but at the same time, being in a prime location, somewhere where everybody goes to, that helps so much.
I would say, like, for me, in my experience, bro, social media helps a lot, and you don't really have to be in a place like LA to make it, but it helps, bro. It really helps, bro. Like, the amount of times I've been somewhere and, like, met somebody and they're like, oh, yeah, like, pull up tonight. I'm going to be in the studio with such and such. And I'm like, oh, shit, I can go. I'm here, And then I go meet somebody that, introduces me to somebody else. And now I'm like, okay, my network is getting bigger to where, like, now I'm putting the pieces together. And, like, when before it was, like, a dream that I was chasing, now, like, just by being out there and seeing my network and seeing how it works, like, it's turned into a goal that I can see, like, tangible steps to where, like, okay, I do this, and this, and it's going to get me to here, and put me in a position to do this, and this,
Yeah, that networking is so important.
It's everything, bro.
It's everything. It's bigger than social media. It gets you in doors that you didn't think were possible.
Yeah, your network is everything for sure.
Literally, like that's I feel like that's an emphasis that everybody, every artist, every upcoming person should really like enter and like just try to reach out to somebody you don't know. You never know what might happen.
100%, bro.
And put yourself in uncomfortable situations. I mean,
that's what it is.
I bet you were really uncomfortable going to LA somewhere you didn't know, and like you said, you were up here in Oregon, and it's just like now it's just like, oh shit, you're not even ranked out there, you know?
Yeah, bro. They say comfort is the enemy of progress. You know, I try to live by that, man. Like putting yourself in positions to, putting your back against the wall on purpose to force you to grow. So I try to do that as much as possible.
Exactly. And I mean, I live for being uncomfortable. I mean, it's like for an example, like my sister today, she's like, why are you always just doing something? Why are you always doing something that's so like not something you should be doing just to chill? Like,
yeah.
Like, why are you just not chilling? Like, you can just chill. I'm like, yeah, but if I was just chilling, I wouldn't have been doing anything that I'm doing. And then she was talking about support, and I'm like, well, why do you support me? Because I go and do things to have you support me. I was like, I can't stop. Otherwise, I'm just not going to do anything. Yeah. Can't stop, won't stop, you know?
I would rather try 100 things and fail at all of them than never try them and wonder, like, what if I had tried this, you know?
Right.
That's
fuck the what ifs. Let's just do it.
Yeah, exactly. 100%, bro. That's kind of like, that was my mindset going into music, bro. It's like, I'd rather go all out and fail and be like, all right, it just wasn't meant to be, than be like 50 one day, like, what if I had tried to do this shit for real, you know? But going all out means, for me at least, going all out means putting myself in the position that I need to be in and all that stuff.
Much respect, though. I mean, that's not easy, bro. Like, literally, like, I'm thinking about it. Like, man, you really left everything behind, just dip. You know, like, you just betted on yourself right now.
Yeah.
You're still doing it. You're still doing it.
Hell yeah, still doing it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, bro. Like, I think about all the time, like, how much fucking money I've spent on this shit, bro, over the years, shooting videos. Because I like, it's not like I just started shooting videos, bro. I've been shooting videos for 6 years, bro. Like, you know, paying for studio time for all this time. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, bro, like, I've seen some money back. I've gotten to the point where I make a little bit of money off music, doing like features or like, you know, getting booked for certain stuff. Even like my streams do like a little bit of money, but nowhere near what I put into it. But I just look at it as like, it's all like investing. Like, you buy a stock, say your stock is going down or it's staying the same, and you put a bunch of money into it over the years. One day that stock is going to go up and you're going to be a rich man, you know?
Facts. And I mean, that goes to everybody out there. Invest stocks in HS Dro. About to blow.
Hell yeah, bro. Invest in me.
Same thing with rhythm and flow.
Facts, man. Absolutely. We're about to go on the market pretty soon.
Yes, sir. We about to be public. Oh, my bad. That's early.
Nah, bro, but that's real stuff right there. And we've talked about this with a lot of people on the podcast too, but the amount of money that you have to put in before you like see a single dollar back, that discourages people too, you know, like just talking about being uncomfortable and like the what ifs, like, yeah, bro, that's what stops a lot of people from chasing their dreams too. Is like, they're like, yeah, like, I want to do this, I want to start a podcast. Okay, but I gotta buy the cameras, I gotta buy the mics, like, and could be discouraging, bro, because I mean, everyone, like, for the most part, a lot of us are just, you know, middle class citizens making ends meet. So it's like that extra 100, 200, like, we need that. Exactly. You know, it's like, it's hard to put it towards, you know, gear, but then that's sometimes where it's just, you gotta have that mentality, that dog mentality. You know what? Like, I won't eat out for 2 weeks, and I'd rather put that to my music or my podcast. And it's like, it'll pay off as long as you put in the work, you know. But some people don't want to, like, some people just don't want to give up that, you know, eating out for a week to put towards their dreams.
People won't even sacrifice a couple months to, you know, to invest in themselves. So that's, especially doing something creative, bro. It's a big gamble, you know. It's not like if you start any other type of business, a lawn mowing business, you know, landscaping business, something like that. You can invest in the trucks and invest in all the equipment, and then you're like, oh, now I just got to grind for it and, you know, do all these lawns and all that. Whereas, like, if you're doing podcasting or music or something, you might invest everything in something that nobody wants to hear anyway, you know? So you're really betting on yourself, you know?
It is a gamble, yeah. Got to make that shit entertaining. You got to find a way to hook people.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like the first 5 seconds that matter. So you got to make that shit fucking addicting.
Yeah. Bro, and it doesn't take a lot, though, too, you know? Because that's another thing. It's like, okay, you want to be an artist? You don't need the mics that they're using in the big studios, bro. Like, just get a cheap one off Amazon and just start, you know? At least you can get something going and put a product out there. And then eventually, you know, like, once you start getting more views or getting more income, you know, streams, features, this is that, then you can upgrade.
Reinvest into.
Because I'm sure that's what you've done, you know? Like, you know, you that home setup you have now, I'm sure that's not, bro, the first setup you had ever.
I started with a mic hanging from the rope tied around the closet, little like the hanger.
Yeah.
Bro, with a sock on it. I swear to God, in GarageBand, bro.
Yeah. That's probably the story of many people that are probably at very high places now, because it's like a lot of people think, oh, you need the top of the top, but it's like you don't. Just get whatever you can afford, whatever you can attain. Like, fuck, bro, go to the Goodwill, go to, the garage sales. Like, you can find stuff,
100%, bro. And especially like these days, bro, like these engineers, have a mediocre recording setup, but somebody can make it sound crisp, like real crispy, So
for sure. No, I think it's really important that we emphasize on, talking about the whole financial standpoint. Like, you yourself, you're an artist, but you're also a brand. You are the product for these people. Like, you are a product, you are a business. And think about any standard business. For the first 5 years, the first 2-3 are not going to be profitable, right? Because again, you have to buy everything, you have to do all that. So eventually after 3 years, you're going to pay that all off after you've done X amount of work. So it shouldn't be discouraging to people. You shouldn't be afraid. That's normal. Like, most businesses aren't profitable in like their first 3 years. So that's just real.
You got to take a risk if you want to ball, though, bro. That's really what it comes down to. A lot of people don't want to take a risk.
Right. Then you don't really love it. Then don't do it. Simple as that. If you ain't really about it, then just go and live your normal life. That's fine.
But yeah, also, like, not everybody's meant to be, a star, meant to be like somebody. A lot of people, are. It's not cool to just live a regular life. It's very cool to live a regular life and be comfortable, Yeah.
So, if that's what you want to do.
If that's what you want to do with your life. Exactly. It's just, for me, like, I just have always been like I strive for something else, but I don't knock nobody that just wants to work a 9 to 5 and raise their family, bro. That's also cool.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This ain't for everybody. And the fact is that live in Salem if you want to live a normal life.
That's want to be very normal. Live in Salem, Oregon, bro.
That's the best place to raise a family and just be normal.
So. I think. Yeah, honestly, I would. I don't think if I wasn't trying to be artist, bro, I would not be living in LA. The traffic is crazy, bro. Like, there's parts of LA that are cool, for sure. But like living in like where I live, like off Fairfax, in the middle of West LA, fuck no, bro. Paying what I pay for rent, and every meal is X amount of money. There's no way I would try to build a life for myself out there if I was trying to not be what I'm trying to be.
Facts. Yeah, that's crazy. You're in the prime right there.
Bro, what?
prime.
It's cool, but like I said, bro, it's a sacrifice. It's an investment,
Facts. Yeah, that's cool, man. Shit, you've done a lot. You're getting to that point. What's next? What's going on with you right now?
I'm working on this project right now, bro. I kind of the last time I dropped was March. I dropped a 8-song little EP project ish thing. Right now I'm just working on music, bro. Like, I took some time to really make sure the craft is where I want it to be. I've put out a lot of music. I have a pretty solid catalog, and I have a good amount of videos. So I feel like I'm in a position right now where I can kind of take a step back for some months, not no years or nothing, but take a step back for some months and really work on it and make sure the product that I'm putting out is at the level I want it to be at. So I'm gearing up to drop probably in the fall, but just recording as much as possible, bro. Almost every day recording or doing something music related.
Yeah.
And then kind of strategizing where I'm gonna do next. Maybe talking about some features I'm gonna try to get, videos I'm gonna shoot, promo ideas and whatnot.
That's what's up. Mm-hmm. You gotta gear towards it, kind of get that momentum going.
Exactly, bro. Yeah.
Would you end up dropping? What was it? You said it was 8 songs.
Yeah, I dropped 8 songs in end of March. It was a little EP I did called 1,000 Miles. That's what I called it. And I shot, I want to say 4 videos off of it that I dropped throughout the spring. The last thing I dropped that was my own was in June, I want to say. But yeah, right now I'm really working on a real body of work. There's not no EP, something that I'm gonna shoot X amount of videos for and push at every single one, and really have it be something.
You got any albums out?
Yeah, I have a handful, man. I have the last real album I dropped was a year ago. It was called Calm Before the Storm, and that project did a lot for me as far as building my my name up. I think when I dropped that project, I had 2,000 followers in 2023, and then I dropped that project, and 3 months later I was at 5,000, all organic, no, I never paid for no promo or nothing, or paid for no followers. I paid for promo and like, you know, blog posts and stuff like that. But like all organic fans and like real engagement. I saw my engagement go way up, you know, like it got to the point where like I have a YouTube channel and I used to drop videos on there and get like 300 views on my video, and I would be like, okay, that's cool. Like 300 people watch my shit on my channel. Yeah. And now like I have videos on there that's on my channel that have like 10,000. I have one that has 10,000. I have one that has 6,000. You know, so like growing at a steady rate.
No, that's good numbers right there. Shit, I lost my train of thought. No, that's cool though. I mean, I like to see a lot of artists, you know, doing, you know, promo and just marketing because, you know, you're paying for this product and you need it to be seen, right? And it's really important. Do you have like a team that you work with, bro? Like as far as just like everything, like
anybody that does your media.
Yeah, like set, like, you know, do you got a manager, you got a videographer you work with, or you kind of just plug and play everything? It's just you.
I do, like, as far as like managing like my career, it's just me. Like as far as like having a team, like I have like, you know, close homies that I run things by, and I have, you know, I'm part of a collective or a little group, whatever you want to call it. Frontline is me, like as artist wise, is me and my boy Mills, my boy Fredo. We all been doing this music shit for a while, but we all manage our own careers. Like, you know, they're like more like my like what is the advisory board or whatever, you know, like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this, what y'all think? Oh, okay, boom, you know. But like I run all my own place and all that. I don't have no manager. I do have like people that I continue to work with, videographers that I, you know, circle back on, and, you know, promo pages that I've seen like my posts go up on there, so I fuck with them again and stuff like that. But like I'm the one putting it all together though.
Gotcha. It's all you, solo dolo.
And I like it that way, honestly, bro. I don't see no need to have a manager at this point unless it's somebody that can bring a lot of value to what I'm trying to do and connect me to the right people. But as far as just like managing my career and like, you know, I'm real type A, bro. I'm real hands on. So like I enjoy that part of things too, bro. Like I enjoy like, you know, strategizing and trying to put it together.
The grind, daily grind. Yeah. Well, I mean, you said you want to, going back a little bit to what you said. I mean, you went to school for like marketing. You said
advertising. Yeah, that's what my degree is.
So I mean, that must help you now.
Yeah. And also, I'm being a barber. I ran a business, or I still run a business, but I've run a business for the past 12 years. You know, so that's I honestly, I apply more of that to what I do every day than, you know, anything I learned in the school ever. Yeah, just running my own business for sure.
It's different. That's a different grind.
Yeah,
it's good that you're doing a lot of it on your own too, bro. Because I feel like sometimes I see artists and they're like not too big. They have a manager. And I'm like, there's no point, you know. Like I agree with you because I manage an artist and he's like up and coming, but he's more than capable. He does everything on his own. The only reason I'm his quote unquote manager, bro, is because I'm just helping him put like connections and put him in good positions. But like he does everything by himself. Like he doesn't need me, but it's just the value that I bring him. It's like, okay, that's cool. But sometimes I see these like, you know, up and coming artists, like they have a manager. I'm like, honestly, it's not worth it. Just do everything yourself, because then when you do get, this is all my personal opinion, but then when you do get to that upper point, it's like if you never did anything for yourself in the very beginning, you know, once you do start getting bigger plays, it's like you kind of got to know what it was like to kind of do all your own marketing and reaching out and strategizing.
This is a business, bro. You have to know the business.
You do.
You know,
you can't let others do it for you from the beginning, because it's gonna bite you in the butt.
Yeah, that's how people end up getting fucked over in these deals and whatnot. It's like, bro, you didn't read the terms because you've never read anything. You know, like your manager
sign it.
Exactly, bro. Like, you got to know this business, bro. This business is not no friendly business. You know, like.
Yeah, relating to, you know, what I'm from.
Hold on. I gotta, because he said that's his pet peeve with the manager. Bro, so you like had an artist who's like, talk to my manager?
Bro, yes, bro. Like like coming up trying to work with people, I used to hate that shit, bro. Like I DM a page, motherfucker has the same amount of followers as me.
Yeah,
we have the same amount of engagement. Oh yeah, like let's work, bro. Oh yeah, send the song to my manager. Dude, I'm like, bro,
you can do it. You can do it yourself.
What are we doing here?
What's your number?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that used to be my pet peeve for sure. Now I can kind of see it, bro. Some people aren't as business minded. Maybe they have a friend that is, man, has like, you know, free time and wants to, you know, be a part of the career. That's cool.
Absolutely.
I'm not mad at that at all. Especially like you're connecting the dots for your artists. You know, you're trying to, you know, introduce them to different people and whatnot. I've just always been like such a like in the mix type of person, or like a social person, that like I'm naturally connecting my own dots. You know, so I just don't.
Yeah.
Until somebody comes along that's like can connect dots that I can't connect, I don't see no reason to have a manager, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, exactly. I mean, relating to that and relating to Inferno, it's just like what we do is we have a network, and if we want to, if we know someone's hot, and they're putting in the work, but they can't do that extra step. Then I mean, that's what we're there to help them for.
100%.
I mean, just help the network.
Yeah.
Get them up. As long as you're there for like a good reason, not just to, like, bro, I'm gonna like steal all this shit from you, type shit.
Yeah.
It's got a good intention.
There's a lot of people like that too, though, bro.
It gets slimy, you just gotta really trust whoever you trust that stuff with,
right?
Type shit
for sure.
Is that what you were gonna say, or did you have another thought? Because I know I cut you off earlier.
No. I mean, I know you don't want to hear what I have to say, but it's cool.
The way I look at it, like with the manager thing, bro, is like if you every athlete has a coach, right? Mm-hmm. Like especially like individual sports. If we talking about like motherfucking what's that individual sport? Track
wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling. All right, MMA, bro. Every boxer has a coach, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every boxer has a coach, bro. But it's not just gonna be your homie who's the coach. Your coach got to know what he's talking about and really be a veteran. At least that's how I look at it. I'm really trying to box for real, so I wouldn't just have like somebody that knows the same amount of boxing as me be my coach. I would want one of the ghosts to be my coach or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone that's actually just doing something or has been in those positions. Because I mean, you have these aspirations and you're going to get there where you're maybe going to sit down at a table with a big label, and it's like if you do have a manager or someone to advise you, it's like they got to know what they're doing, bro. Because like you said, those contracts, it can get tricky. I mean, it's business, bro. Like those are big. These labels, like, think about it, they're big corporations. Like they got lawyers that are like top of the top, and you're just like a little artist. So you do kind of got to have that backing, bro, and that knowledge in your corner too. So it makes sense. And
with managers too, they network is everything, bro. Like a lot of these managers at a high level can put you in that room in the first place. A lot of like out there, I know some managers that manage some pretty solid level artists, and I've watched them work and watched them be like, oh, I think my artist should do this. And boom, the next day he's sitting at that table where he wanted to be, and I'm like, wow, I watched that idea come into your mind 17 hours ago.
Yeah.
So
that's a good manager.
Yeah, bro, and
someone that can make things happen.
Exactly. And for me to have a manager, it would have to be somebody I could see doing stuff like that for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's good, man. I mean, I feel like you're in a good place.
Like I think so too, bro. I appreciate it.
You were talking about it. I mean, if you can do it yourself, why not?
I'm gonna hold on to that as long as possible, bro. Same with being independent. I'm gonna hold on to that as long as possible too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's cool, bro. That you well, don't take this wrong way, but it's cool that you don't have a team, because like from an outside perspective, it would seem like you have a team, bro, because you got a good branding. Like you got really professional videos, and like you post a lot, and you have like a good pictures and stuff like that. So to know that you just do all that yourself, it's really impressive. Yeah, it's cool. So what would you say, like, being in LA, what's like the vibe like for someone out here that's watching us from like Salem? Like, what's the music culture like in LA?
Professional. That's like the one word I would say to describe it, bro. It's real professional. Like, especially like being out there. Like, I've walked into sessions and been like, wow, there's 20 people in here, and I'm the only person that doesn't do this for a full-time living. Like that shit will wake you up, but also inspire you. Yeah, just professional, man. Everybody's grinding, trying to get to it, and really doing it. Like everybody that's chasing this in LA is already at that level where they believe in themselves so much that they're gonna take the chance and go out there to do it if they're not already from out there. So yeah. And the people that's already from out there, just being from out there, if you're talented, like everybody knows somebody, like you can find some motion, bro. There's a lot of pop in. If you're from LA, bro, and you are talented and people are fucking with you in your area, you can get a buzz going, and you can become, if you are consistent with it, you can become one of the major West Coast artists, But coming from out here, bro, like you can be the most popping shit in Portland, bro. You're still the most popping shit in Portland,
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like a small world, huh?
Super small world. Out there, it's a big world,
Yeah, that's crazy. You doing any shows out there?
Bro, I haven't done a single show in LA yet, and I'm not even really sure. I'm not gonna say I'm not trying to. I'm definitely trying to, for sure. But I'm not gonna force it neither, bro. I've done a good amount of performances. I've had good shows, like real good shows, where I'm like, that was lit. And I've had shows where I was like, I didn't need to do that show, Where it's like I didn't gain as much. I didn't gain what was worth it for it to be worth it, like with the effort I put into it,
Right.
So I think it's something I really want to do. I want to get better at. Live performance is huge. Having stage presence is all that is really important, and that takes practice. But I'm also not trying to like force whack shows, you know.
Yeah, don't force it. Let it come, you know, naturally.
Exactly, let it come naturally.
Yeah, like we were talking about it earlier. I mean, when the time is right, the time will be right.
Exactly,
and that time will come. And it just takes time.
Exactly, bro. And out there too, like there's so many shows going on, bro. There's always a show going on. There's always somebody coming. I've been to some shows for sure, bro.
Yeah.
The most inspiring show I ever went to, bro. I went to Bino Rideau show out there in Orange County at it was at Garden Grove Amphitheater. That shit was lit, bro. That shit was booming as fuck. It wasn't like that venue wasn't huge, but the crowd was like everybody knew all the words, bro. The crowd, like, age range was like 20 to like 40, you know, men and women, everybody just drunk, having a great time, bro. And that was a vibe for sure, bro. Like, watching that show was like, I need to have this type of crowd at my show, you know?
Yeah.
Bro, that's someone I fuck with being on heavy, bro. I've been wanting to catch a show of his.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't done too many in a while.
Yeah.
At least I feel like. When was that show? Last year?
February, January, like early this year.
Is this year?
I want to say.
Oh, wow.
I don't quote me on that, bro.
Yeah.
I want to say it was, though.
No, that's fire.
Yeah. And, bro, talking about just being in LA, that was like some LA shit, like how I got to go there, bro. Like, I locked in with his manager just on some random, like, by chance shit. Like, ran into him. We started talking about music. And then I was like, oh, what do you do? He's like, oh, I manage some artists. And I'm like, oh, who? He's like, I manage Bino. And I was like, oh, that's dope, you know. Locked in with each other, you know, sent him some songs. He sent me some feedback. And then, you know, I seen the Bino. I think he was like, oh, I'm going to be at a Bino show such and such date. You want to pull up? And let me pull up. It was dope.
Damn, bro. Yeah,
that's cool.
That's
really
really
the type of shit that happens, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
not out here.
Yeah, not out here, but that is some, like, little shit like that makes it hella worth it to be out there, bro. Like,
yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
What's it gonna take to get? You said you don't want to force it, but what's it gonna take for you to make that jump out there?
Oh, to do a show?
I guess what are you looking for ideally?
I think for me, like, if I'm opening for somebody, I want to be opening for somebody whose audience I feel like might translate well to my audience. I don't want to do no random opening for somebody that, you know, is like not even in my lane as far as music wise go. You know, it has to make sense as far as like the business side of things too. Like, you know, I want to at least make sure like I'm in good communication with the manager. I'm not like no surprises, nothing like that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, not whoever's throwing the party or throwing the show.
Right.
It just has. I go off vibes, bro. It has to feel right, you know.
Yeah.
You can when something's not right, you can feel it, you know.
No, I feel that for sure. I was gonna ask you something. I totally forgot. I'm on some Inferno shit right now.
Yeah, bro. I've been fucking. Usually it comes easy, but
no, literally, I had a question. I was gonna lead up to that, and I just spaced it right now.
It's because we're on an off day, man. We usually record these things on Thursdays. We're fucking Monday.
I appreciate you guys doing this on
Hell
Monday.
yeah, bro. We
Yeah.
appreciate you for
Blame
coming
the
out.
Monday, bro.
Yeah.
What would talk about your first show ever? Our first performance. Is that what you're gonna ask?
Bro, my first show. My first show was at the Wow Hall in Eugene.
Oh, okay.
It was this event called Polar Fest. It was like 2 years, not even 2 years into me making music, bro. I had a project out, and I had a couple songs that had like cool numbers on SoundCloud and stuff, and I knew a lot of people coming down from Portland for the show and whatnot. But I was so faded, bro. Everybody asked me like, were you nervous for your first show? I was not nervous, bro, because I was so faded. And it wasn't like I'm gonna get drunk to not be nervous. It was like, it's my first show, I'm gonna get lit. So you know, I never really felt the jitters like that, but I was faded, bro. Like, it couldn't have been a good performance. But it was a cool crowd. It was lit.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people in the crowd. Bro. Yeah. I was drinking Hennessy that night.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh, dark liquor.
Yeah, no, it was great vibes though. It was like a phenomenal night, great memories. But it was also tough to go into like performing that way because it was such a lit show and it was so many people there, and like, you know, at that point, like, everybody's drunk. It was a good vibe. I didn't even have to give a good performance. It was still gonna be cool, you know.
Yeah.
And then like the next show after that was like no one in the crowd that I did. So I was like, fuck, like not all shows are gonna be like that first show, you know.
Right.
Was that like you said it was like a festival, so was there like bigger names, or is it just like all local, up and coming, or?
It was all local artists. It was like Portland artists.
Okay.
I think there was a couple Eugene artists on there too. But like, yeah, it was all like Oregon artists and whatnot. But we all sold tickets. Like, I had the physical tickets in my hand, and I was riding around with them in the car, and like, you know, I could hear my appointment. Hey, bro, you want trying to come to my show? Yeah, boom. You know, throw me X amount of money, and you can come get a ticket right there. So like, I sold a good amount of physical tickets, and then like there was a bunch sold at the door. It was a good all the artists that were on the lineup were pushing it the same way. So we had a good turnout for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. I feel like with us doing shows too, man, it's like when all the artists on the lineup or on the bill are like pushing it and actually putting in the work to sell tickets, it's gonna be a great event.
Bro, nobody's too cool to sell some tickets, bro. Everybody.
If you were, you wouldn't be having to sell tickets. I mean, quite frankly, bro, like if you were at the level where it's like we're gonna reach out and pay you, then we wouldn't be having the conversation of, hey, do you want to open up? Right. It's like you gotta take that, bro. You just gotta be humble. It's like it's not bad. Everyone starts somewhere,
bro. And even at the levels way higher than I'm at right now, or anybody that we're talking about right now, is that like people are still pushing the tickets themselves.
Yes, bro,
for sure,
bro. Yeah, I mean,
everyone's got to eat.
Yeah, hustlers, bro.
100%, bro. Larry June was selling tickets himself out of his car for like years. He'd been on for years, and he was still doing it.
Bro, I mean, truth be told, like even artists you think are like getting paid a lot, probably not, bro. Like unless you're like a Kendrick or Drake, like a lot of these artists, they still gotta sell tickets.
Yeah, bro.
Like you said, you're not too cool. Like so it's like knowing that, where it's like the bigger artists you think that are big, it's like they still gotta push tickets because it's like they gotta make that money.
Like you said, bro, it's your product. You're pushing your product. A show is your performance is your product, bro. Why would you not try to sell your product?
Right. Yeah, you gotta sell that shit. That's why you gotta hustle. And like you guys all said, I mean, no one's too cool to sell tickets. I mean, just do it. It's part of the process.
It is.
It really is a part of the process and the grind. I mean, it's beauty in it,
It is, bro.
I mean, like shit. When you fucking go and pull up to the show, you sold out your tickets. It's people are there for you. Like
I say, you see your people in the crowd.
Yeah,
like
bro,
that's gotta be
people
a good
out there
feeling.
for you.
If you're trying to be a rapper, bro, getting paid to rap is a blessing, regardless of what you're doing, bro. If there's a artist that wants to do a feature or wants to get a feature from me, and like I'm like, what's your budget? And they're like, I don't know, bro. I'm not working with too much. I'm like, send me the song, and I like the song, and it's cool. Like, and I'm like, okay, I can see how I'd come off on that, bro. You have $100? Yeah, that's cool. Bet I'll take it, bro. I'm getting paid to rap at the end of the day.
Yeah.
$100 is what gas bill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll pay my gas off rapping this month.
That's fucking sick. Like hell yeah, look. I pulled up on my fucking rapper money, dog. That's awesome, man. No,
talk about like
I'm gonna beat you to it.
There's like a phrase. It's like when you feel accomplished for something you did. I was trying to find the phrase, but I forgot it once again.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, like talk about satisfaction. Where it's just like you feel you're getting that satisfaction of like, oh, I'm doing what I love, but then I'm also getting paid to do what I love. That's where the true satisfaction is. Like when you love something, it's like you see actual like return on it. It's like, okay, even if it's a little bit, $100, $10, $20, like it's something.
Yeah, bro. For me, it'd be less about the money and more like the reaction, right? Like, but even with the money though, like getting paid to do like a feature, like I've gotten paid, not no crazy money, but like some good little like pay some bills off that money to do a feature before, and it's like, wow, like somebody really values my verse or my skills or my talent enough to pay me to do this shit. Like I wouldn't have paid me to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll look at it like, damn, bro, like people really see the value in this shit so much that shit make me feel good for sure. And then like as far as like reaction wise, like being somewhere and hearing your song playing and like seeing who's playing it and you're like, I don't know them, like seeing a car drive by here play your song, or like I like that. That should be like the best for me, bro. Like that reaction right there makes me keep going, bro. And then like if I have an event, like I had an album release party at Shake last year, and like that shit was packed out, bro. Like seeing like everybody in there, and then like my song play and people turn up, like that shit right there is like, oh yeah, I'm doing the right thing with my life. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's like you said, satisfying. It's really cool. It's a different feeling.
For sure, bro. And especially like when you're trying to make it, bro, it's hard. Like it's a grind, bro. Like them little moments keep you going. You know?
Oh yeah.
For sure, bro. How many times I've almost given up and then something like that happens and I'm like, nah, I can't give up,
Yeah.
That shit is everything.
It just brings you back. Bring the wind back. Let's run it. You got to keep grinding.
Exactly, bro. And you get addicted to that too, that feeling, bro. Like just making a song that I know that people listen to and like, that's an addicting feeling for sure, bro. Getting that good reaction is addicting for sure.
Well, it's just like whenever I felt like when I performed on the shows, like I was so nervous. Like you were talking about being nervous, and like once I got on the stage and started rapping or whatever, it's just like, damn, it all goes away. And once you're done, you're like, that was fucking sick,
bro. Seeing people smiling, like just like phones out, that shit is crazy feeling, bro.
Jumping, everything, dude, is different. You know, like I'm sure like Inferno like relates to when he like fucking pumps a crowd up and like he gets compliments on his set. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure he feels fucking sick about that.
No, for sure, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was like, I did that feeling. Shit. Yeah, I did that shit. Turn people up. That's hard. I did want to touch a little bit because you said you were in the U of O and you touched on some of the music scene out there. So you've been in Portland, Eugene, and then LA. So I mean, you have different places you've been at. Where do you feel like Eugene's at, or at least at the time you spent there?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like Eugene is U of O. You know, is a college town. You know, so like. You know, there's people that are from the dope. I have some homies from Eugene for sure. I'm not trying to downplay anything, you know, that they got going on. But like, as far as like a real market for music, I personally don't think it's like a real market as far as like, you know, like having like a scene for real. You know, I don't even really know that there's any like studios in Eugene. Fuck, if there is, bro, don't hate me, bro. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's like, you know, I've recorded in Eugene, but it's been at like someone's house, you know, or something like that, okay, you know, and Portland, I think, has potential to be a scene for real, but bro, we have a lot of work to do. Yeah. There's a lot of talent here. There's a good amount of talent here. Only so many of those talented people have the drive to really do this, you know, and then only so many of those people are like at the point where like they could really do something for real. So it's like I think Portland has potential, and LA is like obviously LA is LA, but I think Portland has a lot of potential, bro. I think there's a handful of people in the city that could really do something with this music shit.
I think we've all seen the you know, Portland, Salem it's all growing. Yeah. It's all getting better.
For sure. I think, and obviously like with Portland growing and that, like all the surrounding cities are going to have, you know, more of a platform as well, you know? Yeah. Who's to say there's not a big artist from Eugene in 10 years because they were able to kind of wiggle into the Portland scene and, you know, do something like that, you know?
Yeah. They wasn't having like no house parties with like rappers or anything like that?
I mean, we was throwing house parties. Hey, okay. And I think, did we ever perform at our parties? We'd like play our songs and like turn up the crowd and shit, but I don't think, like not really no rap house parties for real. I think like some of them like the frats and stuff, like they would put like, they'd hire like bands and stuff, I think. You know, like stuff like white people like to, you know, go turn up to, but like our parties wasn't having no bands or nothing like that.
I feel like that might be like a smart play out there in Eugene.
It might be, but there's a lot of money out there because there's a lot of college kids that come from everywhere that have money. So, you know.
Most definitely.
And it's, go ahead. I'm saying, and it's safer. Like out here, like you throw a show, you're risking like, oh, it might get shot up or like, you know, something like that. Whereas like out there, bro, like, I mean, shit, it might get shot up too, but like,
it's mainly the college
less
kids.
of a chance.
Yeah,
right. It's
college kids are not.
It's a safer
they're
vibe.
They're not idiots. They're just there to get drunk.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part.
They just want to have a good time.
Yeah, bro.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, you use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
Like, you know, to throw a party. And then, like, I guess I'm inspired off of that podcast I saw with JLP. It's just, like, he did backyard parties, and then he'd book his own band. Like,
that's fire.
And then that's how he went up, you know?
That's fire, bro.
So it's just, like, same deal. Just throw a fucking party and book yourself.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be there, right?
I'm going to do that, bro. I'm going to do that shit. Why not?
Why not?
Throw I'm going to do that shit.
Yeah, no secret sauce. I mean, that shit's out there for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Type shit.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, y'all heard it. I mean, I want my little 2%.
Got you, bro.
2%. That's all I asked for. Nah, but, you know, one thing that we haven't touched base on, and I mean, I know it's going to come, so I'm going to say it right now, is we want to know, like, some things that you bring to the studio with you. We want to know some essentials out there. So what do you bring? What are you bringing? Like, okay, let's say you're gonna go to a studio. Now your home studio. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna be bringing to that studio session?
My hard drive.
Okay.
It's only got to be 5 too. You don't gotta go too crazy.
My hard drive, first and foremost, before anything, some water, for sure. Depends on the vibe. Like I like to drink, you know, so I do like some Don Julio if I'm gonna be drinking. Same, you know, if I'm smoking, some weed, loose leaves. But like I don't really rely on those things. Like I don't need to drink every time I'm in the studio. I don't need to smoke. I just started smoking again like some months ago, but I took a cool 3-year break off of smoking. So every time I smoke now, I get high as hell because my tolerance is at the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if it's a turnt vibe, some Don Julio. If it's a chill vibe, you know, some weed, you know. But hard drive and water before. Like I'm not going to the studio if I don't have my hard drive or water.
2 main things right there.
Yeah, for sure.
That. What do you got in the hard drive? Everything?
Everything, bro. I have a couple hard drives, but like, you know, all my sessions, bro. You know, like you never know when you're gonna need that shit or you know, all that, bro. And I use it, bro. I go into my hard drive all the time and find some sessions and send them to somebody, or you know, all that. So hard drive is. Bro. How are you gonna be making music? That's your livelihood, bro. Your art. You're not gonna go to the art studio and paint something and leave it there. You know, take a picture of it and leave it. You know, you gotta bring that shit.
Yeah, facts. I feel like a lot of people just use their phone and AirDrop or some shit. You know, call it a day.
Yeah, you might lose your phone. You might break your phone. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Hard drive is a good backup.
And I don't know, bro. It's just like people take you seriously when you take yourself serious, and you walk in with a hard drive. The engineer, everybody at the studio is automatically like, "Oh, he's for real," you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you're not just fucking pulling up files from your phone,
exactly,
airdropping it.
Exactly.
YouTube 10p3 type shit.
Yeah, bro. Hey, download this beat for me real quick. We've all been there, but yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Shit, I'm still there. Producer hit me up.
Do you have like a set of producers that you like locked in with now, or you still using YouTube beats?
I'm not above finding a YouTube beat at all. I'd still do that sometimes.
Oh, for real?
But yeah, but I try at this point. I try to if I'm gonna use a YouTube beat, I try to lock in with the producer. I'm not just gonna rip the MP3.
Email them,
I'm gonna email them. Hey, bro, I fuck with this, and like, or if I do like take it off the shit, I'll send them the finished song and be like, let's talk pricing or let's talk splits or all that. Like I try to do things the right way now, but for the most part, all my shit is different producers that I like to lock in with for sure.
Okay.
I have, a couple out there I work with, some from out here I work with, but
cool.
I fuck with working with actual producers for sure.
Yeah, facts.
Is that you think that's pretty important for like the progression of an artist is to find some good producers and really lock in with them? Yeah. Like the same kind of set of ones?
That's everything.
Okay.
That's super important, bro, because if a producer has you in mind when they make a beat, they're gonna. That just makes the craft go so much higher. It makes the quality of what you're making so much higher, bro. It's easy to find a tight beat and come off like the person whose type beat it is, But if you're trying to make your own sound and be unique, you got to work with producers.
I feel like that's like pretty essential to growing. Have working with somebody, a producer, someone that can cater to you specifically. Because when you do like a YouTube beat or something like that, you're kind of just going off like generics. Oh, yes. Like they go like, oh, Joey Badass type beat or Nas type beat. Like you're gonna get like just generic type beats. Whereas you go with something that you really rock with and it's like to you because they know how you sound. Like that's dope.
It's all, bro, even like on YouTube, you might sit there for hours and not find no beat you want to get on, bro. But if a producer even sends you a pack that none of them he had you in mind when he made them, but like these are 10 beats from a dude that I know makes hard ass beats, I'm not sorting through all the bullshit. Like I'm gonna get right to it. I know at least 4 of these are gonna be hard.
Yeah, you know what? Something that I've thought about too is I think it's kind of counterproductive on being on YouTube or like having it being so like in your face because you're gonna scroll for hours and not make a song or something, whereas if you're like in a studio locked in with somebody and there's like, dude, I only got like 10 beats, right? Pick one. So it's like you're gonna be more into it. You're gonna make sure you do a song, whereas you're like, dude, I'm not feeling this song no more, let's put another beat on. Bro. I feel like that's what holds a lot of people back, like, and they don't even think about it, but I've noticed that. Because you go to anybody's search bar and they have a bunch of like beats, bro. It's like a million of them. Yeah, it's like damn.
No, that's true,
bro. And bro, the good beats on YouTube get found.
They do.
Like you're gonna find another song with that beat. That's happened to me a few times, bro. Some of my biggest songs, bro. Like if you buy the lease, they can still sell that beat to other people. Unless you buy that exclusive.
That shit gets taken down too,
bro. Like 3 of my biggest songs are big songs now on the same beat. Like my song "Eyes Open." That's one of my bigger songs, bro. That is the same beat as 10% by Mozzie, I have another one from back in the day that was the same beat. Fucking Mozzie, bro. Mozzie, Polo G, and Lil Papa made a song with the same beat. And then I had made my song ABC with Fredo. That's one of my bigger songs too, bro. Like I made that song, and then like a couple of weeks later, EBK J-Bo and them used that beat. And then even later on, now like Bravo the Back Chaser and Peso used the beat. Like to give me that remix, so you're gonna run into that too, and that's never cool. But
facts.
It's part of the game.
You still out money. You can buy the lease like you said, but it's gonna be like what $30, buy a basic lease, and then it still gets taken down. So you still out $30.
Exactly.
It's like damn.
Exactly, bro.
No, that's crazy. But you wanna know what's cool though? YouTube's a hell of a tool, man. It's awesome. You do have that luxury, but it can be counterproductive. And shit, even like Joey Badass when he dropped his album Before the Money, like he had Christ Conscious,
Joey Badass type beat. Bro.
Yes, it was a Joey Badass type beat.
You be looking in doing your research as well, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure, all the time. Yeah, And that beat is hard as
fuck, bro.
Yeah,
I know, bro. It must feel so good to go on YouTube and be like Joey Badass type beat. That's me.
Yeah,
like, try to
exactly.
find one. That's probably sick.
And that was on his first album, like his solo album. That's fucking hard.
Yeah, that was like his first major debut, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that shit was sick. Nah, man, it's a hell of a tool, man. Just as long as you use it and you don't let it be counterproductive, the world's yours right there.
Yeah, bro. It's a tool for sure, like you said.
What are some like with that, you know, kind of talking about YouTube being counterproductive, you know, just kind of knowing the game and things like that. Obviously, you're doing your thing, you know, you're at a good position, you still want to grow, but like where you are now, like what's some like up and coming advice for like, say, you know, a kid from, you know, Portland or out here, and it's like, you know, you're doing the thing, man. You're in LA, you're working with people. It's like, what's some things that you learned that, you know, just some free game you want to give people, like do's and don'ts?
Probably the biggest thing I'll tell like an up and coming artist is invest in yourself. You know, that's the biggest thing, bro. Like, don't try to cut corners with the shit, especially when you're starting out. You know, if you really believe in yourself, pay for studio time. Get a video, not your homie shooting on the iPhone. Like, pay one of these videographers for the video. You know, people. I said it before, but people take you serious when they see you take yourself serious. And taking yourself serious costs money. You know, this is not a poor man's sport. You know, this is not skateboarding. This is golf. You feel me? So you gotta keep investing in yourself over and over again. And then to that too, make sure your money is right. If you really want to do this shit and push it, you know, like you need to have some income coming in. You know, you should never spend your last. You know, I mean, we've all done it, but like spending your last on trying to rap is counterproductive because you got to be consistent. And if you spent your last, you don't have the money to, you know, drop again and shoot another video. So like, you want to be consistent, you got to have some consistent money coming in because it costs money to play this game.
Bro, that's great advice. Like really great advice, because I feel like I see and hear a lot of stories of like people spending their last on, you know, trying to make it. And it's like, yeah, you know, that dog mentality, like, you know, I spent this money and I didn't eat and stuff like that. But then, like you said, it could be counterproductive, bro. Sometimes you got to take that meal, because it's like, if you're not fully nourished, you're not going to think straight. Your body, you know, it's all like mind, body, soul, like it's all connected. You got to you got to be kind of stable financially in order to be spending that extra. It's really, at the end of the day, it's extra money. At least it should be, you know, extra money that you're putting out for your
basic
craft.
needs. Bro, if you have a kid and you're spending your last money trying to shoot a music video, your priorities are fucked up.
Yeah, you got to prioritize.
It doesn't matter how much you believe in yourself, bro.
Absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely, man.
I think, hey, bro. I would say that's like, I don't know, the mindset that goes into spending your last on a music video too is like, what if this is the one? What if I blow up off this shit, right? But I think the quicker you get out of that mind frame, that happens, but it's 1 in a billion people, you know, like the quicker you get out of that mind frame of like, I'm gonna blow up off this video and realize it's a marathon, you're gonna get more fans off this video than you had yesterday, and then the next video, you know, like once you start looking at it like that and like looking at it like a staircase and not an elevator, that's when it starts to become like, you know, a goal, and you really start chasing it for real.
Without a doubt, man.
For sure.
At least nowadays there's better outlets, cheaper outlets to at least put your music out there. You can use like TikTok, Reels, any of those.
Exactly.
Those are, you know, like free out there for you to use. You just got to be creative. That's all. So, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
You know, you don't got to spend a lot of money, but, you know, you got to be smart with it. It is.
And I would say if you're going to go that route, like TikTok and stuff like that, and Reels, which we all do, there's a lot of shit out there. There's a lot of content, bro. Your shit has to stand out. So you guys to be like realistic with yourself too. Like, is the shit I'm making great? Yeah. Because we scroll all day on our phone and see some shit. It might sound cool, but it's got to be great for me to want to add it, you know?
Right.
You got to cut through the noise. You feel me? Out there, there's so much shit. The shit is so watered down. There's so much people trying to do this shit. And if your shit's not really special, you're never going to get anywhere, especially in this day and age where we can see everybody that's trying to do this shit, you know? So you got to be realistic too. That's some more advice. Be realistic. Have homies that are good homies that are not just going to be like, bro, it's hard, you know? You got to have homies that are going to be like, bro, that's not it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, accountability. Yeah.
100%.
For sure. Yeah, you can't be a yes man. You can have a yes man in your circle because, I mean, we got to grow. You know, artists always got to grow, and they got to hear, you know, the bad stuff.
Exactly, bro. And honestly, bro, for me too, like, I don't want to be out here looking crazy. If my shit sucks, let me know, you know?
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. We all know somebody that's trying to be a rapper that probably shouldn't be trying to be a rapper, you know? We've all seen that happen, you know? This shit is not for everybody. So you need people to let you know, not shit on your dreams, but like, you know, be more productive, you know, with giving you better advice.
Yeah, shit get better. You know, it's just you got to think about it like, you know, like we were talking about sports earlier, and it's just like, you know, if you're not great at the sport or the position you play, you know, just train harder.
Exactly, bro.
Just keep going. I mean, there's gonna be people that are better than you, but don't let somebody else you know, mess with you. Yeah. You know, just focus on yourself, get better, get your reps in, and
exactly, bro.
That's it.
But you need a coach to tell you that. You know, you need a coach to be like, bro, you need to work on your handles. You need to work on your jump shot. Right. You know, because like LeBron didn't get to be LeBron with all his coaches being like, bro, you're gonna be LeBron. You're fine. You know.
Yeah. Thanks.
People told him what he needed to work on.
Exactly. No, that's awesome, man. Did you have another question you wanted to ask?
No, man. I think I'm pretty much out of questions.
You good?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Well, we appreciate you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you guys for having me, bro. For real. This is a dope platform. I'm glad. If you guys need help getting any guests or anything like that, let me know, because I really want to see y'all win too.
Yeah, bro. Absolutely. We'll definitely have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Is there any like shout outs or up and coming like things, you know, you just want to put out there, let people know, thank people? Like,
bro, just follow me on the gram at HS.Dro. All my moves, I put them on there, you know. Sometimes I'm just talking shit on my story, but I'm also pushing my career every day. So, yeah, just stay on the lookout. I'm trying to drop probably October. That's when I'm looking to drop. I don't have a title. I don't have a date. But I've been working. Just because I haven't dropped in some months doesn't mean I'm not working, bro. I have a vault full of songs. So it's coming together for sure.
Hell yeah. Well, shout out HS Dro, man. And he's from San Diego, lived in Portland, out in LA. So, I mean, if you're ever in LA and Portland, you already know where to find him. Contact them on Instagram. Shout out our sponsors too. We got Joy Energy, we got Franchise, we got Portland Tattoo, we got Sloth Gang, man. We appreciate everybody tuning in. And again, man, we appreciate you coming by, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Every time.
Yes, sir, man.
Yes, sir.
Catch you all on the next one, man. We'll see you guys.
Later.